What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. Hey man, before we get into anything in this video, make sure that you like and share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all updates. Hit the post notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Coi Leray has the entire music industry buzzing right now, but unfortunately it's not for anything good, okay? Her sophomore album, aptly titled Coi, is being reported on various news outlets that the project has only sold somewhere around 10,000 copies after the first week. There's a lot of discourse going on online. People are trying to understand why she's not moving units, why it is that she's able to have such big songs on TikTok, viral records, but it just doesn't seem to translate into actual record sales. People are even going so far as to compare her and Chloe Bailey because they've had very similar results with their albums this year. And it seems like they're really good at making popular records, stuff that translates on TikTok and social media, but it doesn't seem to be driving people to A, hard sales, and it doesn't seem to be driving people to B, stream the projects when the album actually goes live. That's not to say that they don't have people streaming their music. They have people that are consistently rocking with them throughout the year, but they're not listening to the album cuts as much. Number one, I think that's due to low attention span. When you start going into the millennials, you start going into Gen Z, they're not sitting down for an album full of music. They're trying to hear something quick. They're looking for the record that they could use on TikTok. They're looking for the record that could be used in their next piece of content. They're looking for something that they could dance to with their friends. So they're not listening to albums to try to hear the story that you're trying to convey. They're not listening to albums to hear where you come from, how you got to this point. They don't want to hear none of that storytelling and all that stuff. They're looking for the bops. All pun intended, Coi actually has a record on there called Bops, which I think is one of the standouts. I don't like the hook, but I love the rapping. I like the beat. There's a lot of people out there that are criticizing Coi Leray's music because they feel like she's using way too many samples in her songs. I mean, the album starts out with a sample. The first 3 or 4, maybe even 5 records on the album have samples in them. And you know the type of samples that we're talking about, where you actually hear the vocal, you hear the familiar song, and then it transitions into something else. I think this is a formula that the music industry definitely needs to change. We're not in love with that shit no more. The biggest song off of the project, Girls is Players Too. Of course, she took that old Melly Mel sample. Once that started kind of catching on, they put the Busta Rhymes thing under it, which I like that version a lot better. But it seems like she has trouble when it comes to original songs that don't have samples or a familiar song in the undertone of it. Those records don't seem to translate as well. Now, she does have a record called Get Loud, which I do think could translate into being a pop hit. She has a music video out for it. It only has a little bit over 300,000 views. I'm trying to understand why the video isn't being viewed like that. I'm trying to understand why the rollout for the album seemed very underwhelming. I didn't even know the album was out until I saw my guy Bobby Foster on Twitter say how good it was. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even know it was here. It was a very light rollout. She doesn't have a lot of interviews going on. She did go on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion. I think she may have another 1 or 2 interviews out, maybe Apple Music or something like that. But she doesn't really have any viral moments. She doesn't really have any staple moments in this era. She did a great job at the BET Awards last weekend. Everybody loved the outfit with all the female rappers plastered across her outfit. I thought that was dope. That was a moment, but it didn't really trigger people to go get the project. I would have loved to see her at the Essence Fest with some of the other ladies that were rocking out this weekend. It just was a very underwhelming release. I mean, the song Players dropped 7 months ago, so they've been milking this out the entire time. I honestly feel like the album should have been dropped maybe 3-4 months after that really hit, because they didn't give us any other singles like that, and they didn't give us any massive release. Then once you actually listen to the project, there's no key features on it this time around. Like David Guetta, we're not really checking for that. Last album had Fabio Foreign, Nicki Minaj, Lil Durk, Young Blue. You had at least 5-6 people that were really important to the culture on there to bring that relevance and bring that influence to the project. Now, she only sold a little bit over 11,000, I think 11.5 thousand first week on that project. According to Coi Leray, that project did go gold, or it was at least near gold at some point last year. One thing I don't like about the publications that report album sales and first week sales is they don't report on follow-up weeks. They don't report 5, 6 months later to see where the album is at. And no other places pick up these numbers. The Wikipedias don't pick up these numbers. Until the project finally gets certified gold or certified platinum, whenever somebody wants to come out and Billboard, Rolling Stone does an announcement about that, nobody knows where the figures go. So we kind of get stuck into this infinite loop of thinking the projects only do the numbers that came out the first week. Let's say if she did 10,000 this week, she does another 8 the next week, she does another 5 the following week. Something happens, she creates a monumental video with lots of cameos or does something that catches people's eye or attention, and then one of the songs off the project blows up after the album is already out. Who's going to be tabulating those album sales then? What if she goes and, does another 100,000 over the course of the next year? Why doesn't anybody get updated on this stuff? And it can really make these artists look like they don't have no influence, or look like these projects are failures because we look at them from this one perspective of first week. So honestly, I think the entire culture has to do better. That doesn't mean that this album is good or great. I think she's really good. I love the raps that she did on Bitch Girl. It really showed that she can carry a track just straight up rhyming. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like the song Bops. I like her cadences on the album. But I just feel like she does a few things that other artists are already doing. And it kind of makes me think of other people sometimes when I'm listening to her album. I had moments where I thought she sounded like Bia, on that song with Gigs. Kind of throwing on that London accent. It reminded me of London featuring J. Cole by Bia. She has moments on the album that make me think, dang, this would have been a dope Cardi B song. Or she sounds a little bit like Cardi to me. She has moments on the album where it's like, oh, that cadence or that flow or that voice texture that she's using reminds me of Nicki Minaj. So I think although she is talented, I think that she's going to continue to grow artistically, and I would love to see her grow artistically. She's super marketable, very pretty girl, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that can be done. There's a lot that can be tailored to her over time, but I think she still needs to consider finding her identity as a music artist. I do feel like some of the artists nowadays catch a little bit too much flack for sampling. Sampling has definitely been a part of hip hop since the beginning. Some of our favorite legends in hip hop are very big on sampled material. Jay-Z is considered the GOAT. His entire catalog is filled with samples. But there's definitely a different technique today being employed with samples than it was in the traditional hip hop style. Back in the days, the whole point of doing a sample was taking something that people knew and chopping it up and making it into something almost unrecognizable from the original. The challenge was like, ooh, what did they use? Today, we have this very bad boy-esque usage of samples where you're taking classic songs or songs that were popular in the past, you're letting people hear the original, and then you flip it into another version of that original with some new drums, some bass, some 808s. But you're keeping it very much the same. This is something that's been going on over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. Of course, Hitmaker made this style very popular. Other producers have caught on to this trend, and I think it's starting to backfire. Although it has worked for her on TikTok, it's not translating into the sales. She's doing shows, she's selling merch, she's doing things. I think people are interested in Coi Leray, like I said, but I still think to take her to the next level, she's going to have to solidify her identity. She's going to have to solidify her actual rapping talent. She's going to have to solidify her hit-making ability outside of the same tropes and same formula that everybody else in the industry is utilizing. That's what's going to make you stand out leaps and bounds above the rest. And make no mistake, I'm not here to disparage Coi Leray. I want to see her take it to that next level. So I'm not here making fun of the album sales. I think she's going to continue to sell. She's signed to Uptown Records, which is a subsidiary of Republic and Universal. It doesn't seem like they put a lot of money into the project, into the rollout. It seems like they probably had to pay a lot of money or publishing shares for those samples. And ultimately, although social media is loud, criticism does cut deep. I think people do want to see her do well. At this current moment, I think the Coi album is nice background music if you're running around, if you're hanging out with some friends and you just throw it on. I'm not too sure that's what people want in an album these days. I don't know what the stipulations are in her contract, but I feel like if you're not going to put together a really fully fleshed out project, you might as well just drop EPs. Do 5-6 song samplers, keep your TikTok runs going. And I think that will probably even translate into better sales, better reception from the public, and overall probably be a more profitable usage of your time and efforts in creating music. Just do them like capsules. Let me know what y'all think of the Coi Leray album, man. Did you like it? Have you listened to it? Did you have the same critiques that I have? I know everybody's coming down really hard on the samples. I don't want to overdo the criticism on that, but it can't go without being mentioned, you know? Again, let me know what y'all think. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace. Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the content. Make sure that you're liking and sharing these videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the post notification bell so you get all updates. For all of my artists, my artist managers, songwriters, producers, etc. If you need a little bit of extra help with your career, man, make sure that you visit pengameelite.com, okay? That's my website and my community for all upcoming rising music creators. I got 2 books on there, the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 1 and 2. They're going to give you a lot of insights into the music industry, how to monetize your career, how I make my money off of music, because I am a full-time artist outside of doing YouTube videos. If you need some direct help, you can also book a consultation with me on the Pen Game Elite website. And I also have a Pen Game Elite membership. The free tier gives you access to all of these videos that I post on YouTube and a community of people where you can engage. But I do have the membership plus, okay? You can join that for $50 a month or $500 a year, and I will actually go in and do all of the grunt work for you. If you're not registering your songs on your PROs, if you're not with Song Trust or the MLC, if all your collection agencies and all of that stuff are not up to par or up to date, I will go in there and update all of that for you. If you need help uploading your music to a distributor like DistroKid, United Masters, etc., and you've been making mistakes, you've been claiming content ID on material that you really don't own, hey man, stop stealing people's money. If you do this stuff the right way, you're gonna make it anyway, okay? You can join the membership plus, and again, I will do the work for you, and you're gonna get a free consultation every month just for joining. You're also gonna get the 2 books for free soon as you join the membership plus. All right, much love and respect. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.